Going by ounces, cool. All right. Elbow, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. We are gonna start up this live. Yeah. All right. Okay. What's going on? Oh yeah, still a ways away on that. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. Everybody, so this is my menu for tonight. It's pulled pork with some maple glaze. I'm gonna reduce down. Nice. Blue and green. All right, I'm just going to go over that right now. So tonight I'm doing a pulled pork hack. So I don't have a smoker, so instead I chose to do it in a slow cooker from yesterday. So it's been on for roughly about 12 hours. Just bringing it up all the way up to heat. So now that when it's nice and warm, it'll be really, really shreddable, okay? I'm then going to take the juice, all the fat, and all the extra barbecue sauce and stuff that I had in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and reduce that down with a bit of maple syrup, a little brown sugar, maybe a small hit of mustard, you know what I mean? Really bring it together. We're going to reduce that down. And then we're just going to just hit the shredded pork with that sauce. On the side, I'm right now working on a cheddar cornbread that I'm going to put into some muffin tins. Really, really nice, really simple. I'm also going to do a side of just mustard coleslaw, something sweet and savory on the side. And then some baby potatoes, which I do have blanching on the back burner right now. Yeah, and how are you today? I hope everything's going well. I hope your guys' Thursday is going really good. I hope it's nice and warm, or it's warming up. Because like we're again in Canada, it just hit -2 today Celsius. I'm like, it's a blessing, right? It doesn't just hurt your face to be alive, all that good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start up with my dry ingredient right now. Let's see, half pound flour. Okay. So again, let's go. We'll go with the cup standard. Hold on. Any dessert? Tonight I was thinking, just because it's a half pound. Yeah. Just because it's it's a larger menu today. I'm thinking about doing something super simple for dessert, which will most likely be a kind of sundae. So it's a chocolate. So we have like a split sundae or a split type of ice cream, which is I can't remember what brand it is, but it's like Dots. It's not a Dots, but like it's like a chocolate and vanilla split ice cream, right? With these chocolate dots on the inside. And I happen to also have in my fridge a little bit of like I have chocolate ganache and I have white chocolate and cherry ganache. So I was thinking about doing like a quick sundae with that, with some crushed up cookies, just to keep it really, really simple today. As well as, like, since dinner's going to be quite rich, I kind of wanted something a little bit, not lighter, but something to kind of cut all that fattiness. But I mean, that's if my my little girl and my wife are still hungry after you know what I mean, eating all that sugar, or eating all that rich pulled pork. All right, so right now I'm just putting in 8 ounces of flour. I'm going to go ahead and put in 6 ounces of sugar. Let's do this. Okay. There we go. Wow. And again, when it comes to baking, you know, most people say baking is a science. I 100% agree with that. So in this case, to get like the best results when you do any of your baking, guys, is to always, if you can, use a scale. Okay? Just because it guarantees weight per volume. Whereas if you use like measuring cups and stuff like that, it invariably, some people's hands are what do you call it? They're harder with materials or ingredients than others. So what I mean by that is essentially, oh, hi. Chris, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. What I mean by that is a lot of people will incidentally, like when it comes to say things like brown sugar, everyone's interpretation of hard packed and soft packed is a little bit different. Therefore, that I prefer just weighing it, because then at least you get a guaranteed, what do you call it? You get a guaranteed, oh, it is mirrored. Oh, okay, I forgot to change that. Able to have the right amount every single time. And then there's no surprises. Okay, so I'm gonna put in, I got 6 ounces of sugar, ½ ounce of baking soda, 1/8, quarter, 3/8. Come on. There you go, 1/2. As well, if you guys ever are going to buy a scale, try to get yourselves, like, spend a little bit of money. Yeah, pulled pork. Yeah, sorry about that. I totally forgot about the mirroring because I was just like in the heat of trying to get all this stuff. Shane, thank you so much for the follow. Yes, actually, what's funny is I will be dropping the actual cornbread recipe as a video as of tomorrow morning. I went ahead and I filmed it because I'm a videographer as well. So I filmed it more professionally so I can have something that I'm posting on both my YouTube, here on TikTok, post it up on Instagram, as well as I'm going to have a starter thing for, what do you call it? I'm just starting on my way to get my recipes for my Patreon. So at least when people are so when people request it, I can just send it to you guys right away. Yeah, what would I do without you guys? Damn. Sayu, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so then I got my half baking powder in. I'm going to just put a pinch of salt in as well. In this case, I don't know if I have any more regular salt. Do I? Okay, well, since we don't got that little bit of salt and we're having this with a savory item, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and start it with a little pinch of garlic powder or garlic salt. That little bit of sodium will go a long way, so you don't need a crazy amount. And then cornmeal. So cornmeal, I'm going to go with the ½ pound. Again, this is a recipe. I quartered the recipe, so hopefully this will be not too shabby. It's ½ pound, so it's 8 ounces. Perfect. Here we go. Right on, right on. It's right there where I'm pointing. What do you mean? What? What happened? Yeah, Caitlin, sorry about that. Again, I just wanted to create a product that was a little bit, what do you call it? For everybody, but at the same time, just a little bit more professional. So at least I can, when I post it, I can be proud that it stays there forever. Lisha, hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. Good to see you. Yeah, so I am trying to crush this live as fast as I can. You don't know what you're going to make for dinner. What do you have on deck right now? Hoa Sen Trong, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for all the gifts. Oh my gosh, Leisha, the hearts, man. Thank you. Yeah, and as well, if anybody has a quick chance, if you can go ahead and just give me some likes, that helps me put me into the algorithm on TikTok during the live of this period. It helps me get in front of eyes just like yourselves, guys. Gets me in front of people that are like-minded, still want to talk about food, recipes, food culture, stuff that, all that good stuff, okay? If you can give me a hand with that, that'd be muchly appreciated. And Leisha, thank you so much for the donut. Oh my goodness, yeah, dude. Marsha, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the live. How are you today? Okay, so then I'm taking all my dry ingredient. I'm just going to give it a quick mix. Okay, nothing too crazy. Just want to incorporate as as much of it together as humanly possible, so that when you do your wet mix, it I guess it just collects just much easier, and it won't clump up in certain respects. Okay. Okay, boom. That's mixed up. So now I'm going to go with my wet ingredient. Okay, so my recipe calls for a half pint of milk. What a pint is, if you guys work with milliliters, a pint is 550 milliliters, I believe. So to go half of that is 255. No, wait. It's 275. God, my math. Okay. So then it's half pint milk. So I'm going to go 275. Okay. Yeah, screw it. I'll just go take that up to 300. Not too bad. Then it's 3 eggs. One, two, three. Whap. You're having an I don't want to cook night? Oh no. What do you have in your fridge? Is there anything you can repurpose? Is there anything that you can just do that's quick fire? What do you got? Here's cheese, fruit, meat. Yeah, make yourself a really dope ass like charcuterie plate. Blind Sniper, hey, what's good, dude? Good to see you. Thanks so much for coming back. How's your day going? Okay, I'm just gonna give my potatoes in the back a quick check. So now they crushed. You can see that it really is nice and soft. Okay, so once this is good to go, I'm gonna go ahead and cool these potatoes down. Okay. And usually what I do is, for this, I'm just going to go ahead, run them under some cold water. You can also do an ice bath, any of that good stuff. You know how to make macaroni in oven with the cheese? Absolutely. Do your macaroni first in a pan or a pot, do it up, and then make sure that when you do your macaroni, it's very loose, like it's very liquidy, okay? Because what's going to happen is that when you try to finish that product, like you don't want it to be super thin, like watery, but you do want it to be very loose, okay? So that when you put that into a pan and then put it into the oven, it doesn't just over reduce and become just like this thick, like really binded mass, okay? Secondly, if you're gonna use cheese, I do also recommend go get yourself some, like a small pack of croutons, or go get yourself like hickory sticks or something like that. Crush those up, throw that on top of... I'm trying to be a cooking show. Yeah, take that, throw that all on top of your macaroni with the cheese. So it's going to be cheese, your crispy bits. Throw that into an oven about maybe 400 degrees, right? Go ahead and let that get a little bit of color, so a little bit of crisp. And then when you take it out, do not serve it immediately. Wait about 5-10 minutes so it's not just napalm. And then there you go. Good to go, okay? Bradley, hey, thanks so much for the follow. Vicky, thank you so much for the follow, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome to the live. I appreciate y'all for being here. Okay, so then I got my 3 eggs in, and then all I need is a half cup of oil. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to toss that into here. I'm going to use this thing to measure out my oil. Where's the half cupper on this? Okay. All right, half cup of oil. Boom. Okay, and even for a quarter of this recipe that I'm doing right now, you're still getting quite a bit of volume with your cornbread. Yeah, hickory sticks are fire. Yeah, again, anybody that knows me knows I like using like dank things. Because the best part about hickory sticks is it also imparts a good amount of that flavor. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Brenda, thanks so much for the follow, dude. Do I eat Cheetos with chopsticks? No. But a homie actually taught me to eat popcorn with chopsticks. Even to this day, he does it. MJ Roz, yes, I am Filipino, sir. Yes, you can use a little bit of butter in place of oil, but it really depends on. I mean, it is going to give you a buttery like flavor and texture and stuff like that. But the real question you got to ask yourself is, what temperature are you cooking your food at, and is it is the temperature too high that you're going to take on, because of the butter fat, you're going to take on a little bit too much color. But I do recommend, if you are going to use any butter, you can also cut 50-50 oil and butter. Okay, Blind Sniper, right now I am working on, and Jespy, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. So what I'm working on right now is a simple cornbread recipe, and for tonight I'm doing a pulled pork hack that I used with the slow cooker. I had this wicked deal on pork shoulders last night or a couple nights ago. It was like $15 for like this giant joint, like this huge loin. And MJ Roz, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. So I got this wicked ass pulled pork that I split in half, and then I overnighted it. So it's about maybe, I'm gonna say about 9-10 hours in the slow cooker for the pulled pork, with just a little bit of barbecue sauce, so like a hickory type of barbecue sauce. Super sweet, super sticky. I'm going to take that, I'm going to reduce that down with a bit of maple syrup, a little bit of brown sugar, let that become super glazy, super thick, and then I'm going to remix that in once I shred the pulled pork, okay? Secondary, I got this, cornbread going right now. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of cheddar, so it's going to be cheddar cornbread. I'm going to do a simple mustard style coleslaw, so it's like sweet, a little bit savory. And then I got the baby potatoes cooling down in the sink right now. So I'm going to give those a quick season. I'm going to crush them down. I'm going to put them into the oven. All right, so it's all on the go right now. Okay, so I'm just going to finish giving that a quick mix. And you notice that when you add in baking powder, obviously that's going to act as like a leavening agent. So what that's going to do is that automatically, even though it's been sitting like and resting as a dough for about, I've been hitting this for like maybe 5 minutes, you notice like it has like so much density, so much volume, right? Really airy. So what that's going to do is guarantee that we're going to get some levity on the cornbread, so that when they come out of the oven, they will not be so like incredibly dense. And again, for anybody that was asking about the cornbread recipe, I will be dropping that recipe on my TikTok page. Yeah, that pulled pork does smell amazing. I will be dropping that cornbread recipe on my page so that everybody can have it, as well as this is a recipe that is near and dear to me. It was given to me from one of my old chefs, one of my previous chefs, and he got this recipe from Disney. So it's just a bang on guaranteed cornbread recipe that is always very fluffy for the most part, and yeah, I've never actually had a hard time making it, as well as the results are always pretty good. Baking soda is magical. It's called floof powder. You know what I'm saying? Just adds that little extra bit of air into anything that you're making. Same thing if you add it into your meat. It tenderizes meat, as well as when you add a dredge or anything like that. It just gives it that really crispy, puffy exterior while maintaining crisp. Yes, honey? Okay, here. Okay, here you go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just grease up my muffin tin. You don't have to grease it up too much if it's a non-stick, but what I like to do is make sure that when it's greased, this amount of oil will actually help crisp out the bottom a little bit, giving you just like a slightly better result, okay? So I'm just going to just do this. Wow. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so nothing too crazy. Jackfruit pulled pork, yes I have, and it works extremely well. The one thing I would say about jackfruit jackfruit pulled pork is you do want to leave it bigger chunks, and don't braise it so long, because it does lose a lot of its texture base, as well as you can also make that or mix it with a couple other fruits like I really enjoyed like underripe mango, just because texturally, when you break it down, it's quite amazing. And yeah, Keegan, yes, I am from Calgary, Alberta. My favorite ground beef recipe, in all honesty, like, there's a couple. But to be honest, like when it comes to ground beef, I'm a really simple person. I love making a good good bolognese with it, or straight up, I like using ground beef for like Tex-Mex, like Taco Tuesday stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grease up this guy right here. All right. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this into the oven right away. All right. So when it comes to doing things in the muffin tin, I also recommend go ahead, use an ice cream scoop, right? It guarantees portion sizing every single time, but at the same time, this is a secret that we use in kitchens. It's just that you're not fudging with like 2 spoons. You're not trying to like break this off the spoon, all that stuff. And getting really inconsistent portioning. So in this case, the ice cream scoop guarantees portioning. All right. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Like that. And...
Someone asked you earlier if you ever made bannock, and Alicia's got a question for you.
Oh, and no, I actually haven't made bannock. I have made bannock once, and I haven't made it in so long. A Flying Dutchman is... Gemini, how are you? Is a Flying Dutchman, are you talking about like that Shake Shack Flying Dutchman, or is that something totally different? Antonia, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And Gemini, how are you today? I hope your day's going really well. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, bannock I haven't made in a long time, but to be honest with you, I don't think I've made well. If you guys were to try to make bannock, I would still really highly suggest look up any one of our like local Canadian Indigenous creators. I know for a fact there's a bunch of like chef creators out there. They probably also have like the most banging recipes. Something that's both original to them, but is something the burger with onion as a bun. Damn. No, I haven't. I might actually have to try that. Flying Dutchman is an In-N-Out burger. Ah, there you go. Yeah, it's not a, I don't know what I'm thinking. Because I remember, we're in Canada. We don't have like Shake Shack or In-N-Out. It's meat, cheese. You can wrap with grilled onions or lettuce. Damn. Kane, oh, how you doing? Yeah, hell yeah. It says Hail Pizza. Because people always look at it like it's satanic. Nova Scotia, hey. Kelly, it's good to see you again. How's your day going? Yeah, Gemini, you know how it is though, right? Connotation of the pentagram, or a pentacle even. People always relate because of the whole witchcraft thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover these guys in cheese. Okay. So I'm going to get a good amount of, today I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of some mozza cheese. That was open?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can see popcorn in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of mozza cheese, and I'm going to hit it with some leftover marble cheese as well. Oh, just doing a quick cleanup, Kelly. Hey, I appreciate you for being here, man. Thank you so much. Yo, you don't have In-N-Outs there? Oh, man, I still might try it. Like a grilled onion burger with some cheese on it. Damn. That sounds fire, regardless. Like, you do that smash thing into it. God damn.
Cards on the ground.
Oh, no. Okay, so then I'm going to hit that with some quick marble. Boom. Yeah, right. You can do this with like regular unprocessed cheese. Grate it yourself. In this case, I just had some extra laying around that I really want to use up. Get it out of the fridge before I forget that it's there. As with most ingredients. Okay, so that's done. And I am throwing these cornbread into the oven at 350 degrees. Boom, just like that. All right. So next I have... Okay, so now I got my potatoes cooled off and ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and, before that goes in, I'm gonna go ahead and take out my pork. Okay, so this again is a slow braised pork that I had in the slow cooker for approximately about maybe, I'm gonna say like, oh, you blocked that guy?
Yeah, because he said it was a symbol of violence.
Oh, it's because he doesn't know. Okay, cool.
So, you know what?
Hey, that's all good. If he doesn't understand, like, Wiccan culture or anything like that.
So, you know, it's cool.
All right. Okay, so I got this wicked pulled pork. I'm just going to go ahead, lay it out onto my cutting board. Okay, and get that just out of the liquid. Yeah, dude. Okay, just take out any of the excess. That. Boom. Okay, I'll show you guys in a second how that looks up close. So, in this pan, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all the excess juices and fat and all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the pan, and we're going to go ahead and start reducing this simply. Okay? There's a good amount of fat content that did render out of the fat cap, which I didn't clean off necessarily because I really wanted to maintain the amount of fat content in there. So again, this is also now sitting at a keep warm temperature. When you do have a slow cooker, what do you call it? When you do have a slow cooker, the keep warm temperature always revolves or sits around 160 to 165 degrees, which is food safe. Right? So it's not going above that to like a boiling temperature, but it does remain at a really good pace. Antonia, I don't have to sell the plates. You know our door's open. We're all good. You come on over and we'll have a plate ready for you, okay? Wait till you find out your wife's a witch. Kay Duda, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And Cheesa, thank you so much for the follow. Oh.
Yeah, it sucks to be that guy. The cards I dropped were tarot cards. Hail Satan and all that.
I think you dropped tarot cards. That's hilarious. Sandra, yes, I am Filipino. And Antonia, I am located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah. Hey, Gemini, yeah. If you got any American homies that are down here in the comments, you go ahead, you pick them up. You guys roll up here. I'll get some dishes going for you, okay? Okay, so check this out. So we got this wicked pork, right? Look, I'm going to use the dullest thing on the planet, which is these forceps tongs, right? I'm going to use the back end of it, like the thickest. Look at that, okay? But look, right? You can literally smash that, okay? So that is straight, like, 10 hours of slow, delicate cook time. Okay, so look at that, right? This gorgeous, good amount of fat content, the meat shreds. So that's all good. Even the part that doesn't have a lot of fat, right? It's been just sitting in braising liquid. Like, look at that. God damn. Wow, that's mirrored. Look at that. Yeah, dude. Okay, so when it comes to doing the shred, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it very simple. More or less very rustic, so larger chunks and all that. You're all done? Okay. Yeah, more or less larger chunks. And then I'm probably just going to trim just any of the excess fatty parts that I know are going to be tough. I'm just going to take those out and call it a day with that. Okay, so right now I'm just going to go ahead and this is also in the back, so that's the drippings. I'm going to be adding maple syrup, brown sugar, on all that good stuff. Awesome. Hey, Gemini, thank you so much for the roses, guys. I appreciate it. And if anybody is new, yeah, she is, right? And to anybody that is new and joining us on this live, there isn't too many of us, but if you guys are new, please, if you can do me a solid, hit that like button for me. It helps me stay in the algorithm. Todd Snow, when it comes to pork shoulder, what you really want is just a small, easy, gentle, what do you call it? Cook time, right? Something that sits around maybe the equivalent of 155 degrees to 165, right? So that brings it up to temperature while still not making the meat too tough. Because remember, when you cook meat, it is a slow cooker, yes. So like remember, when you cook meat too quickly, you tighten up that fiber, and then the end product is always going to be a slight bit tougher than you want it to be. I'm sure there is faster ways to do it. Like you can do sous vide, you can also do oven, what do you call it, like an oven roast, but in liquid, like an oven braise. In this case, it's basically the same thing, doing a braise, but inside of a slow cooker. I like the slow cooker method as well because when you do methods like this, it is just more accessible to the normal everyday person. And again, on this channel, that's what I'm trying to promote is accessibility and ability, so I can make sure that anybody that just has a hankering for whatever they want that is takeout, anything like that, I wanted to make sure that I always showcase items that can be achieved at home, nice and easy. Damn, Gemini, thank you so much for all the gifts, dude. Appreciate you. Okay, so right now, again, I'm just like trying to crush up the fat so it's not super overwhelming. Okay. And as well, my cornbread is now in. It's been roughly about 5 minutes. So I'm going to leave it for another about 10 or so minutes. Okay? And that'll give me enough time to get my potatoes done. And what do you call it? Get my potatoes done, get my coleslaw done, and pretty much call it a day when it comes to what I'm doing for dinner. Okay? So again, like you're seeing these like massive chunks, right? Anything that doesn't have a large amount of fat content, look at that. Just shreds like a beauty. And I'm probably going to go ahead and reserve. I still have a bit of cornbread batter left over. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to coat the pulled pork as best as I can in the pot. And then I'm going to take any of the leftover, and then I'm actually going to make cheddar and pulled pork cornbread, which I think eyes looking a bit pink. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and then I'm going to take that, put it into there. Boom. All right. Yeah, and I have insomnia. All right, so pulled pork cornbread, yeah, dude, it's dank. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just slap that thing on, and then all you do is you dip it with like, you can use like sweet buttered barbecue sauce or something like that. What is going on here? There we go. Rob, hey, how you doing, man? Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, so what I'm making right now, I got some pulled pork. I just pulled the pork, threw it back into the slow cooker on the back burner. I took its juices, so that's the fat, that's the extra barbecue sauce. And then I'm actually going to hit it with a little bit of some straight gold medal Canadian maple syrup, because this stuff is bomb. And again, these lids hate me, so I'm just going to have to do the hack version and cut it and open it. Nope. My hands are like hella greasy. Come on. No. Yo, can you grab me an elastic?
Like a rubber elastic?
Yeah, just because I can't actually open this maple syrup. Like the sugar's like really coated on it. You have not greasy hands?
Can I have a paper towel?
Yeah. Okay, so while my partner works on that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this also with a bit of brown sugar.
Use my beefy arms.
Yeah, get them guns out. Oh, you got it? Hey, right on. So I got some maple syrup going in. I got some brown sugar also going in. All right. Again, since we're in Canada, I only promote Canadian maple syrup. Boom. Okay. Okay, so give that a quick mix. Okay, and I'm gonna let that just come down to a nice reduced level. Just gonna start just cleaning up so I have a little bit of space. Yeah. The guns, yeah, you know it. Some days she's just straight stronger than I am. Chewable 10 milligram melatonin. Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to mess with melatonin when I was a little bit younger, but I don't mind because I got really used to like 2 to 4 hour sleep days. Yeah, okay, so Rob, I don't know if I fully explained it. So yeah, I am working on pulled pork, maple glaze. I'm working on some cheddar cornbread, which I have in the oven right now. It's just cornbread recipe that I have. Hit it with some different types of cheese. Let that bake off 350 degrees. I am now going to be working on these baby potatoes. And a little bit of like a mustard coleslaw, I think would be just gorgeous. Right on. And Left Lane, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Corey, what's good, man? So tonight I am working, Pyro, yeah, you know Canadian maple syrup is the bomb. You keep seeing a spider in the potatoes? Oh, that would be fucking funny. Okay, so Rob, yeah, so I don't know if sorry, not Rob. So anybody that's just joining us, go ahead and take a look right here. I'm doing some pulled pork with some nice maple glaze and a little bit of brown sugar. In the oven right now, I have the cheddar cornbread. I'm making up some coleslaw, and I'm going to be working on these potatoes right here. So they're just baby potatoes. They were hella cheap when I picked them up, so I thought that would be a great addition. So I'm just going to go ahead, season them up. I'm going to give them a quick crush, and I'm going to go ahead and throw them directly into the oven as well to go with the cornbread, okay? Okay, mustard coleslaw. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. I didn't have any caraway seeds for the coleslaw, unfortunately. And Brenda, yes, I've previously am a chef. I'm now just a stay-at-home dad, but I have been a chef or a cook for the last 25 years. And thank you, moderator Nanners. Todd Snow was, interestingly, a troll. Corey, you doing good? I hope so. You've been in all your life, yeah. That's the reason. Maggie May, thanks so much for the follow. To be honest with you, that's also why I'm now stepping out of kitchens. I'm now like 38, so now I thought it would be a great time to kind of stretch my legs and get out of being on the line, doing line work and stuff. Because to be honest with you, as much as I do love cooking and I love the industry deeply, I really do. It's not doing really good for my body these days. Like my back's always killing me, lower back from plating and expoing, stuff like that. Yeah, it's just not for me, but at the same time, I don't want to leave cooking just because I love it so much. Hi from Toronto, hey! How you doing? And Peter Joseph, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Old people problems. I hear that, man. It burns you out, man. Just cooks your body, and then you're just like, everything hurts. You sneeze, throw your back out. I'm Mary. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you all for being here on the live. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, if anybody that is new, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all for being here. I really do. But if you guys have a quick chance, you go ahead, hit that like button. It really helps me in the algorithm, get in front of people like yourselves, people that want to talk about food culture, recipes, and all that good stuff. Love learning and you're enjoying. Hey, I appreciate it, Kelly. Thank you so much. That's a wicked compliment, dude. Right on. And I'm happy that at least I get to interact and talk with people that are like-minded, that are really interested in learning. all that good stuff. Sheba and Amessa, thank you guys so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, and if you guys can, and you also have a quick second, hit that share button, because again, most likely if you guys are here, you will share my live with somebody who also equally wants to watch food-related content. Right on. Yeah. So how is everybody's Thursday? I hope everything's going well. What's everyone having for dinner as well tonight? Yo, breakfast ideas? Hey, go, damn. Yo, hey, if you dig breakfast burritos, dude, either it's on my TikTok page or follow the link on my TikTok page to my Instagram. I gave one of my dishwashers one time. It was like this like double stacked, ultra filled breakfast burrito, but it was like boom. It was like here to here. I used like 2.5 wraps to like wrap that thing. And then once I wrapped it, I gave it a quick grill so it sealed it. It had cheese, eggs, hash browns, bacon, sausage, meatloaf, bunch of shit in it. Jalapenos, liquid cheddar, regular shredded cheddar, just the gnarliest shit. And then once I had it grilled and sealed, I wrapped that thing in bacon and threw it in the oven, bro. Right? You know what I'm saying? And like, it was so gnarly. He ate half and just had to go to his car, take a nap. Caitlin, thank you so much for the hand heart. Oh my goodness. Right on, dudes. I appreciate you. Small business pack lunch at office. Hey, right on, dude. What do you usually take to work? Amessa, hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, again, I didn't know entirely what I wanted to do when I was starting to do live on TikTok. And like, you know, the atmosphere is very much people talking and you know, politics, all that stuff. As much as I am an activist, I really wanted to bring something that I thought would help others, kind of bring up their food game, as well as showcase that you doesn't need to be expensive to be really, really good food. Okay, so now I'm starting to get a good amount of glaze, or a good amount of shine on this barbecue sauce. Oh yeah, right? It does coat the back of the spoon, but it's not nearly as thick as I'd like it to be. So I'm going to let it go, and it does have a good amount of sweetness, which I really, really love. Having breakfast sausages and poutine for supper. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yo, man. Oh, man. Throw an egg on that? That's fire. What is my most fancy pants recipe? Okay, so I'm going to get back to you, and then Pyro, really quickly, the easiest breakfast burrito is eggs, bacon, sausage, right? Liquid cheese, regular cheese, any of those things, right? So it's going to be your tortilla in a pan, really low heat, right? Sprinkle on some shredded cheese, or you can get cheese slices. Nothing too crazy, right? Then you can hit that with like taco sauce. Like if you have any leftover like Taco Bell stuff, throw that shit on there, right? In that, then pull it out, let it rest. While it's on, while the pan's warm, turn the pan up to medium heat, add 2 eggs, scramble, right? Boom. Take your bacon, render off pieces of bacon, throw that in. Same with your sausage at the same time, boom, right? Give that a wrap, right? And then sear it back in the bacon grease. And then you just have the best breakfast burrito. Okay, it's my most fancy recipe, to be perfectly honest. I have several. But the one I will always go back to is a hard seared blue rare onglet steak, or medium. Or no, sorry, it's going to be like a rare hard seared onglet steak, seasoned pretty lightly, Montreal steak spice and a little bit of salt. It's going to be served on duck confit wedge potatoes, or square potatoes that have been confit for about 8 hours, allowed to rest. Then you're going to refry it in some warm duck fat, hit it with a little bit of Maldon salt, and then it's going to be charred broccolini to stack. So it's going to be potatoes, broccolini, and a fan of your onglet steak. Really super simple. And then you're going to serve it with just like a really nice Espanol sauce. Christina, I'm doing well. How are you tonight? Thank you so much for joining again. Yo, oh man, yeah, we love cheese in this house, so it's just kind of one of my things. Yeah, absolutely. Bridget, I just had to figure out how to, because again, if you don't have a scale, I just had to figure out how, like, the best measurements for the recipe, because, again, I deal with, like, things like ounces and weights, and again, the recipe was given to me by like an English guy, so like everything's kind of wonky. I want to make sure that if anyone's going to do it at home, you can do it with cups, like cups and liquid measurements. I always considered doing like Chopped or Master Chef or anything like that, but to be honest with you, I know a lot of people that have tried out for it or have auditioned or actually been on there.
Do you have your chicken?
I don't.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that have auditioned for things like Chopped, stuff like that, but at the same time, I just don't see myself doing competitions anymore. I have. I've done about maybe 3 or 4 different mystery box challenges at the previous franchise restaurants that I have worked at over the years. I believe I won 2 and came in third, the other 2. As well as I've been able to compete in the gold plate. I believe our team came in 6th. Okay, so I got these bad boys right here. You know what? Should I do it in a pan or should I do it in the oven? You know what? I'll just do it.
Can see it.
Say again?
Do it where people can see it.
Do it where people can see it? All right, I'll do that. Okay. Because Shannon is usually always right, because that's just the way her brain works. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to start searing the potatoes in a bit of oil. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I have a bit of just baby potatoes. What I'm going to start doing now is Ducky, yes, I am doing pulled pork tonight with some maple glaze, which I have reducing on the back here. I'm doing cheddar cornbread, which I now have in the oven, made from scratch. Right now, I'm just working on some nice Montreal seasoned potatoes. Just that I'm going to start searing in the pan, and then while that's slowly searing in the pan, I'm also going to start a really quick and simple coleslaw, and that pretty much does our whole dinner. Bezel, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, you guys. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate y'all for being here. And for dessert, to be honest with you, I have a lot of like leftover stuff. So instead, what I was thinking is I have a white and I have a dark chocolate ganache. My white chocolate is mixed with a little bit of cherry pie filling. So it's like a cherry white chocolate ganache, okay? And in the freezer, I have a chocolate, it's like a white chocolate and a dark chocolate kind of 50-50 ice cream. So I was thinking if like my daughter and my wife were still hungry after like the dankness of like all this pulled pork, then I might just give them a really nice small simple sundae, like a white and black sundae. Leisha, 35 roses, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Emil, thanks so much for the follow as well. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Yeah, we're both Libras. It's a problem. All right, so now I got this kick-ass reduced, right? It's awesome. Now it's like super thick, very dense, good amount of flavor. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add that back in to the pulled pork. Boom. Okay, I'm just gonna give that a quick mix. And again, I left the slow cooker on. The stay warm setting, so it's still sitting at 160 degrees. And it's been allowed to sit in there and slowly continue melting. So when it sits on the stay warm setting, it just guarantees that the fat content in the pulled pork kind of just maintained. Okay. So now in this pan, I'm going to get that going on number 5. And what I'm doing here is I'm slowly just crushing the potatoes. Right, which is awesome because then you get a mixture of the skin and the flesh coming out so that when it does crisp in the pan, it will take on a good amount of texture. Okay. Hey, our house isn't anything fancy. We're just normal people. But when I do these recipes, I always wanted to make sure that y'all out there can see that it is achievable. right? Nothing should be hard. It's just good food. You know, it's the same stuff they make at restaurants that you can still make at home. You know, it's just, that's just the way we live. Because again, in this economy, it is hella expensive to go to a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So why not try to do the best you can? Oh, Kaz, you shared it with more than 10. Damn, dude, right on. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do like nice crushed potatoes. Is one of my favorite things is creamer or like baby potatoes because just because it has texturally a great amount of flavor and right? And it's like a mixture of like both a French fry and a mashed potato at the same time with like the essence of Iron Maiden. Hey, good to see you, bro. What's good? With like the essence of so it's mashed potatoes and like a baked potato or a crispy potato mixed with like a hash brown. And there's something just utterly amazing about that. Okay, so then I have this just going in the pan. Now in the pan, I'm going to just quickly add a hit of, there it is. Yeah, a little bit of Montreal steak spice. Okay, right. So I did put in these potatoes while they were still relatively cold. And the reason being is because then it won't scorch the seasoning right away. And you'll just maintain this really good crust, right? So again, for people that are worried about things like high heat or anything like that, it just makes it more approachable and it makes it doable for the normal person. Iron Maiden. So what's on the menu, sir, is some nice pulled pork with maple glaze that I have done in the slow cooker. I put it into the slow cooker last night, and I let it go for roughly about 12 hours overnight, right? So there's no watching it. You just got to let it go with a little bit of barbecue sauce and a small hit of water from the bottle, okay? So super shreddy, right? Nice, supple, gorgeous, okay? Second, I have some cheddar cornbreads in the oven right now. They should almost be ready to come out. Oh yeah, actually I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out right now. The best part about not having salt, I didn't have any, what do you call this? A little bit of kosher salt or any sea salt on hand today. So instead I put a little dash of garlic salt, and it does smell, to be honest, it does smell like a Cheddar Bay biscuit. Like it smells like one of those like Red Lobster joints. Yeah, so now we got a good amount of plump on it. It's been roughly about 22 minutes. Yeah, so I'm gonna let these bad boys rest, do their thing. Boom, just like that. And then now that these are chilling, I got my potatoes going. I'm gonna just start a really quick, what do you call it? Just a really quick coleslaw. There we go. That.
I have a question about what to do with the potatoes. What other things can you do?
What do you rather, red, yellow, white baby potatoes? To be honest, Kelly, I have no preference. They're all really, really good. If I was to choose, I'd probably go with like the white or the red, just because flesh is still quite thin, which is really nice. So it's not not gonna get a lot of like chalkiness. Yeah, it does have a little bit of chalkiness, but not by much. Like, you're not talking like a crazy amount. And yes, Jamie, yes, you did. Oh, and just so everyone is updated, I do have a video coming out later tonight as well, talking about my next live. It will not be this Saturday. I totally forgot that is my homeboy's birthday. So we're going to go out and do that. So instead, I will be going live tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. till roughly about 7.
Have you tried bourbon-infused salt?
I have, yeah. Bourbon as well as rye whiskey or smoked whiskey infused salt as well. Those are some of my favorite things on the planet. Same thing as if you can get bourbon-infused sugar. That's also amazing. Jace, hey, welcome, dude. How are you today? Good to see you. Okay, so now I'm starting to get a good amount of sizzle on these potatoes, okay? So I'm just gonna just leave this to the side. I'm just gonna give this bowl a quick wash so I can reuse it. Yeah, and I'll use this spoon again because it was just barbecue sauce. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave the... I'm going to go ahead and leave the potatoes just searing as hard as I can on one side. And what this is going to do is it kind of guarantees that you get a good crisp. Like, I really want one side of the potato to become very, very crispy. Bourbon sugar, yeah. If you can find it. I'm pretty sure you can find it at a liquor store or anything like that. So I'm just going to give it a quick check. Yeah, so it's starting to take on a good sizzle, but no color yet. So this gives me a little bit of time to be able to do the coleslaw, all right? Right on. Let's go ahead, grab... Okay, and again, I'm using the pre-made coleslaw, pre-shredded coleslaw mix, just because, again, at Superstore here in Canada, this stuff is really, really cheap. Nothing too crazy or expensive. So you will save a little bit of money if you were to shred it up yourself. But in this case, this is a really good item to have for things like you do a little bit of coleslaw, but the next day you can also do a nice stir fry with it. You can add this to your soups, your ramens, stuff like that. So you get a good amount of that fiber. Hell yeah. Slade, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Do I get baked? Not anymore. I have quit smoking weed about 2-3 years ago. Bourbon sugar on fried plantains. Ooh, yo, actually, to be honest with you, bourbon sugar, fried plantains, wrapped in those egg rolls. Wrapped in those like spring roll wraps, deep fried. Yeah, dude, that would just be so fire. Okay, so I got the coleslaw in here. So again, the coleslaw mix is like there's a good amount of shredded carrots. There's your white and your red cabbage as well. So overall, it's a really good mix. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically just hit it with some sweet and savory. So it's a little bit of vinegar, not much. You don't want it to overpower because again, it's not cooked. So you want to just add in just enough vinegar to give you a sour kind of breath note. You're going to just add a small pinch of garlic powder. I don't have any caraway seeds. If you guys did have caraway seeds, a small pinch of that into your coleslaw is what really makes the coleslaw really shine. Oh, why did I stop? It's because, again, I wanted to, I quit pretty much after I caught COVID. But at the same time, I was looking at the things I was able to accomplish while stoned versus the stuff that I was able to accomplish while sober. So I'm roughly about 95% sober, which to me really helps me achieve the goals and the things that I want to do. Things like this. Just because if I was baked, I don't think I'd be offering the same amount of content or the same type of content that people would necessarily enjoy, right? No one, because again, I'm not a very entertaining pothead. And I smoked roughly since I was 14, so about 24 years. Fruit would be good in fried rice, paper wrap. To be honest, yeah, you can use mangoes, dude. Mangoes and like soft baby coconut, I think would be amazing, actually. And Leaning Pizza, thank you so much for the follow. No, 95%. Because again, I don't go out of my way to go to the bar. I don't buy weed no more. But I mean, if it's offered to me, like, cause I'm going to the bar tomorrow for my buddy's birthday. I'm going to have a couple drinks. The reason I say 95 is because I will have drinks. But to be honest with you, after like 3 or 4, I'm pretty much good. Yeah. When we went to Vegas, I was drinking a lot of pina coladas. I'm not going to lie.
Mexico, bud.
Sorry, what did I say?
Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I mean that in Vegas, but yeah, when we went to Mexico, drinking a lot of pina coladas. Usually I'm a Ryan Coke kind of guy, but I found that it's just, what do you call it? You know what I mean? It was kind of, drinking was just kind of holding me back. Banana Foster, see, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude. Ooh, you do like your bourbon caramel, right? Some bananas, right? A little sprinkle of like something to go on it. Roll that shit up. Ooh, damn. That's a damn good idea, dude. Okay, so cool. So now I'm going to hit this with a bit of mayo. Okay, so again, for acidity, I'm going to use just a little bit of just for brightness, I'm going to use a little bit of lemon concentrate. Okay. For mayonnaise, usually you would add in a little bit of yogurt or a little bit of sour cream. So in this case, I'm going to use just a little of QP mayo. This is that Japanese Asian mayo, right? And then I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of the French's, just a little bit. You don't want to overpower it with that mustard, but you do want it to be an overtone. Okay. So now that's all in. You're just also going to hit it with a small hit of honey, right? Because honey and mustard go together so well, right? But that's going to give you that little element of sweetness that'll cut through all that savory flavor. Okay, and then Kelly, what I put in the potatoes essentially is just a little bit of garlic salt, like a sprinkle of that, and Montreal steak spice. And then because the potatoes were taking on a lot of the oil, I just added in just a little bit more oil just so it doesn't stick. Okay, so while that's searing, I got my, my coleslaw nicely marinating. I'm gonna let that sit for about, coleslaw doesn't take forever to marinate. All you really want it to do is slowly break down because of all the acidity, right? That cabbage will start to break down. The carrots not necessarily so much, so you'll have a bit of that crunch and overall flavor. Yeah, that bottom is starting to collect really nice, as well as that honey really broke down in the mustard, so you're going to get that nice honey mustard flavor. Okay, boom, done. Okay, oven's off. Pulled pork is here. Dirty, yeah. Nice. And a good test is when you can take it and twist your non-stick. Boom. Right? So here's the cornbreads. Right? Really nice crust on it. Really spongy. You'll see it springs back. Right? Cooked all the way through. Good amount of cheese that sits in the center. Gorgeous. Yeah, we call it baby mayo. Absolutely. CMR Bill, hey, thanks so much for the follow, dude. Welcome to the live. Appreciate y'all for being here. And again, guys, I'm coming up just onto the plating portion of the live. So again, if you guys get a quick chance, hit that like button for me. Again, it does help me in the algorithm, get in front of people's eyes just like yours. People that love talking about food, food culture, restaurant culture, recipes, all that good stuff. And as usual, nice. Yeah, add a little mustard. And as usual, guys, if you have any questions about food or recipes or anything like that, as we've been doing, go ahead, leave those comments in the comment section below, and I will try my best to always make sure that I am answering those questions. Hell yeah. Okay, so on the bottom of these potatoes now, right, getting a good amount of crisp, which is awesome. Yep, just like that. Right, really good, crusty. Yeah. Right, again, this is just sitting on like a medium heat, nothing too crazy. Yeah, if I do miss any questions, like Shannon literally yells at me from the other room. We got mods in the house, baby. Okay, so I'm just gonna give all of these potatoes a quick flip. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, you're taking on some of that nice crispy color. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. Some traditional Filipino and Indian recipes, absolutely. I did adobo on one of my last streams, but I will be doing things like pancit, and I will be talking about spam and Filipino spam culture. So look out for that. Nice. Thank you guys so much for hitting those likes. I really appreciate it. We keep that going. Yeah, well, you missed adobo, but we can still do it again. No problem. Young Royal. Hey, yeah, I'm just right now, just finishing up on the dishes that I had on the go. So tonight I'm doing a really nice, like a sweet maple glaze pulled pork that I had going overnight since last night, roughly about maybe 10 to 12 hours, nothing too crazy. Using a nice cheap pork shoulder. If you guys get a chance, check your grocery stores, see if pork shoulder is cheap. We bought, like, again, this gigantic hunk of it for $15. If you got a slow cooker, or if you got like a big deep pan, you got an oven, do it up. You know what I'm saying? Pulled pork doesn't have to be a restaurant only thing, okay? And then I got the cheddar cornbreads on the go right in the back here, right? Cheddar cornbreads, boom. right? I just finished up doing a nice sweet mustard slaw, and I just got the baby potatoes right now in the pan, just crisping up, and it is awesome. Young Royal, not much, dude. We're just chilling here. I appreciate you for rolling through, though. How was your day? I hope everything was good. Yes, and for everyone that's out there, Tina Russo, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. For anybody else that's out there, I am going to be posting all of these lives, like reposting these lives, just so that if you guys missed anything, you guys want to catch a recipe or anything like that, you go ahead and you guys will be able to follow. I haven't been able to post them all just yet because I still have to label, put the descriptions in, all that stuff. If you go to my TikTok page, you'll see a link that has the Instagram thing. Click that. It'll have both my Instagram and my YouTube channel links. And go ahead, subscribe, please. I appreciate it if you did. Yeah, I'm trying to just make sure that everything that I put out there is cohesive, so that if you guys do want to rewatch, or if there's anything you missed, it is something you can access. It'll be a resource for you guys as a community, and you guys will be able to make that food at home. Can't find lumpia as good as my childhood. Oh, damn. Let me ask you, did you get the lumpia that had the raisins in it, out of curiosity? Because I know there's like two factions of Filipino here. Like there's like the Filipino homies that like don't put the raisins in, and there's like the Filipino titas that do. That's for damn sure. Green beans. Interesting. And do they still have like the cabbage and the noodles and all that good stuff? Right on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start plating up this dish. All right. Because we are coming up to that time where my wife has definitely got to jump off because she got classes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with just the coleslaw first as the first layer, right? You do want it to be a nice, even, simple pile, just like that on the plate, okay? You're going to hit with that, actually, you know what? Let's make that a little bit more presentable. You're going to hit with your cornbread as such. Okay, like that. You can actually see that it's still so warm, it's steaming. I don't know if that's on the camera. Yeah, just a little bit of that nice steam. Still nice and warm. I'm going to take some of these potatoes. Okay. Right. So these are, again, just a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of Montreal steak spice for us fellow Canadians out here. I love Montreal spice. Okay. Do it up on that plate like that. Boom. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a good amount of that pulled pork on top. Okay.
It smells from here, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
It smells really good.
It should be pretty good, I think.
Wait.
Okay.
Taste.
And it's nice. You can go ahead and drape that over top. Okay. Nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. And then, if you really wanted to, I'm going to see if I have any green onions. Okay. I got a little bit of like some green onion that's kind of just reaching the end of its time, so I'm just going to go ahead, give that a quick once through, just like that, right? So then this goes on top of that, nice and rustic. Boom. All right. So guys, here we are. We got some nice sweet mustard coleslaw. We got some nice cheddar cornbread. We got a little bit of the crispy baby potatoes on the bottom and some slow braised, slow roasted pulled pork on the plate. Okay? And again, if you guys want, remember, pulled pork is hella cheap right now. So, did I go to culinary school? I went to the School of Hard Knocks. Like I started as a dishwasher, Jenna, when I was 13, and I knew immediately that like kitchen life was kind of for me, you know. So I had some really great mentors, really great people that taught me the ins and outs of the kitchen, as well as some really crappy chefs that taught me how not to treat your staff, how not to run a business, all that good stuff. So I think you have to take the good with the bad so you have like a better experience, if you know what I'm saying. When is the next live? Okay, so Bridget, my next live is going to be tomorrow, same time, just because I will not be able to go on live at 5 p.m. on Saturday. It's my buddy's birthday, so we're all going to take him out, do his thing. I really wished one day I would have my own restaurant, but the overhead plus the margins of profit is quite low. So instead, I'm actually doing this. Tomorrow is actually going to be a surprise. It is a request from one of my followers who, again, anybody that's on the Saturday lives or on the Friday live, the highest gifting person gets to choose the meal for the next Saturday following. Okay, so I had them pick out a couple items, and I will be picking from those. So yes, this is Jamie SS80, so it'll be dedicated to her. I have a couple items that I have definitely picked out that I'm going to do live on the stream, and we will go from there. A food truck, I really wish I was able to do a food truck. I got offered a food truck many years ago, but I mean, when you cook for a living, you're broke, so like, I couldn't afford like the $85,000 for it. But it was a nice food truck, regardless. No, yeah. I will be right back. I'm just going to give this to my wife because she's been waiting. Here we go, honey. All right. Boom. So I'm going to go ahead and plate up my next plate. So again, guys, just a quick reminder. Thank you so much for hitting those like buttons, hitting the follow button if you haven't, as well. 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Yes. So yeah, if you guys don't know, at the end of every single night or in the morning the day after, I'm always posting a little bit of video, a little bit of pictures of the final plates from tonight's streams. Okay, so if you wanted a closer look at like how the plate looks, what colors and browning that should exist on your plates, all that good stuff, go ahead, make sure you follow the page and you will see that update. And okay, so right now it's sitting at 6:12 for me. Yes. So you are Jenna, you are 2 hours ahead of me. So for you, I believe it'll be at 7 p.m. your time. But if you do hit that follow button, you will get a reminder for the event, because I'm going to be creating an event as I'm trying to do more often for these lives, just so it just makes sure that you guys are alerted. Yeah, so again, I will be posting videos and pictures of the final dishes that I did as usual. Thank you so much for the follow, Jenna. I appreciate it. As well, updates or anything like that going forward. Yeah. Sheka, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. So if you guys want any recipe ideas, you have questions, comments, food that you'd like to see in the future, any of that good stuff, you go ahead, you leave a comment in my DMs, or if I'm live, you go ahead and you put those in the comments below as well. But I think that's pretty much it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And to quote again my favorite teacher from television, Mr. Feeney, I love you all. Class is dismissed. Shauna, hey, how you doing? I appreciate you being here. Hit that follow button, and I will see you guys in the evening tomorrow. All right, cheers, guys.